Before that, 2 minutes informal. So last time, so I hope yesterday also you performed well. So you prepared economics and all the pending topics which we discussed in the first one-to-one. Yes, sir. No?
Yes, sir. I prepared economics mainly, sir, and I also touched few topics from sociology and other DAF related questions, sir.
And how are parents?
They're okay, sir. They're slightly getting better, but I think it will take some time.
Thank you. Yes.
So
Start.
also one thing, sir. So last time in the last one-on-one, my video did not get recorded, sir. It was just my audio throughout the entire recording. So can you please ensure in this video my video also gets recorded so I can analyze how my body communication skills are.
You have to tell me, no. I will check after the class.
All right,
After the session, I will do it.
all right,
Earlier also, I will do it.
all right, sir. Perfect.
Your name is Vijay Donnepudi.
Yes,
Donnepudi means
sir. It's the name of a village that is close to Tenali, sir. But I don't think we have any ancestors or anyone from that place, sir. So it's just a surname that has come from that village.
I have two interesting questions for you. Number one is you studied economics, but you
Yes, sir.
chose sociology. Can I know the reason behind it? Why? Because economics is a very good dynamic subject. You can choose economics because of interest or because of knowledge. Why you didn't take economics as your option?
There are two reasons to that. First is to do with my interest in sociology as a subject, sir. I felt that sociology will give me a deep insights into a lot of things that we encounter in our everyday life. For instance, caste, religion, poverty, and environment, politics. So it was offering me a diverse array of insights. So secondly is also to do with the issue of preparing on my own, sir. I'd inquired with my seniors and they told me that economics as an optional would require some external support and guidance. Since I had moved back home after graduation and was intending to prepare on my own, I thought I must go with sociology as my optional.
On that note, Tesla is planning to have a very big investment in India. Are you aware of it?
No, sir, I'm not aware of that.
So it's a very big investment which is coming up in Karnataka, that too on electric cars. The investment is very big in automobile sector. Okay.
All right, sir.
Yes. Mm, automobile sector. So I want to ask you, in India, what is the automobile hub?
So in terms of production,
In terms of production, which place is automobile hub of India?
it's this place in Haryana. I'm unable to recall the precise name of it, but I think the place is in Haryana, sir.
Okay. Okay. So it is Chennai as well. So I want to ask a few questions on economics.
All right.
Yes. So we had a V-shaped recovery in economics, economic growth. What is this V-shaped recovery?
The V-shaped recovery means immediate coming back to positive economic growth after a slide in the economic trajectory, sir. So the recovery is very quick, and we do not have a U-shaped recovery where the coming back to into economic boom takes a lot of time.
Okay. So for the sake of recovery, the government of India has came up with Atmanirbhar 1, 2, 3. What is this Atmanirbhar 1, 2, 3?
So the Atmanirbhar package is to do with a lot of uh, structural reforms and reforms in terms of moving towards self sustainability, so self-reliance, where we boost our domestic capabilities in terms of manufacturing or in terms of the overall production as such. So that is why the government has moved towards Atmanirbhar package. It will also involve providing immediate relief to migrant workers and a lot of women in terms of direct benefit transfers and a lot of opening up in the terms of space sector and other areas.
Can you clearly tell me what is Atmanirbhar 1, 2, 3?
No, sir. I am unable to recall right now.
Okay, I will look into it.
All right.
Yes. There is a new definition given for MSME. Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, it has removed this strict distinction between the manufacturing and the service MSMEs, and has also increased the turnover rates for MSMEs to be classified as small and medium firms, because there was this phenomenon of VAC firms where the MSMEs are willingly not increasing their capacities so that they do not lose out on the benefits of having the small and medium enterprise status. So the turnover and the profit margins are also increased.
Okay. So what is precisely which sectors will come under micro, small, and medium? Any
And
number is
that
there?
I'm not aware of that. I'll look into it.
Yes. Because they changed the definition of MSMEs based upon the numbers.
I'll look into it.
Is there any distinction between foreign direct investment and foreign institutional investment?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Sir, foreign institutional investments are basically can be done basically are usually routed through the institutional investors, which institutions where mutual funds and other retail funds are aggregated and brought in, and there are also different limits. Whereas a foreign direct investment can also be by other uh, single large players. And the second distinction is to do with the limits on FDI and FII. So while FDI limits are close to, in many sectors, it's almost 100%, and in some sectors, it's 74%, etc. Foreign institutional investor FII limits are much lesser than that. Sir.
Can you explain with any example FDI and FII in a very simple way?
The FDI might mean, say, a company would come in and acquire, say, majority stake in a particular company, whereas, for instance, say 74% stake in a company, and it will be the holding company, while some other domestic partner will be its subsidiary. Whereas in the case of foreign institutional investors, the limit, if I'm not wrong, is close to 10%. So as such, the institutional investors cannot be the majority stakeholders in the company, sir.
Okay. Yes. See, there is new investment zones came up, like national investment manufacturing zones. Earlier we have says. So can you give me the difference between the CES, Special Economic Zone, NIMZ, National Investment Manufacturing Zone?
The SEZ had different criteria in terms of having a specialized hub, and it was more about export orientation, sir. As categorizing these special economic zones as export hubs and for some sort of export-led growth, whereas the investment and manufacturing zones are more broad-ended in terms of boosting the manufacturing capacity of the country as such. And there are also differences in terms of the area, so that while SEZs have a minimum area of 5,000 acres, the NIMZs are much larger than the SEZs. And in terms of the incentives that are given for NIMZs and SEZs, also there are certain differences.
Okay. What is this economic corridors?
These economic corridors are certain corridors in the country so as to boost the potential of that particular region, the geographical based regions. So, for instance, there is the East Coast Economic Corridor, which connects Kolkata to Chennai and boost or develop the economic potential of this particular region. So there are certain such region-specific corridors which are being built across the country to develop the potential and also to integrate into this one larger economic hub as such, where the logistic costs of the country will come down.
See, the government of India had two large objectives. By 2022, they want to double the income of farmers. By 2030, the economy should grow by $1 trillion. So whether it is achievable from your economics graduation knowledge, can you tell me?
So, firstly, the issue of doubling the farmers' income, sir. So I, with due respect, feel that achieving doubling the farmers' income by 2022 might not be possible, because there needs to be a lot of structural reforms also for us to better the farm income. There must be a move towards non-farm incomes, for instance, like food processing, and there must also be a clustering of the farming sector. Sir. Like a lot of people must move to the manufacturing sector and service sector. So that I believe might take a lot of time in terms of building the infrastructure. Sir. Secondly, in terms of whether India will become a $1 trillion economy by 2030. So I believe there definitely is a chance for us to become that. But as Amati Sen talks about, we must adopt a capability approach towards such a move, sir, where we must also improve the capabilities of the people and not just the basic needs of food, clothing, and shelter. We must move to capabilities where the education, the human capital abilities of the people are increased, that their opportunities and accessibility to jobs or education have to be increased for us to achieve this goal of $5 trillion economy.
See, as an economist, if you become the economist or chief economic advisor to the government of India, and the government asks you, tell me some measure, immediate measure, so that the economy will be boosting again, what would you suggest?
Our post-COVID recovery, sir.
Yes.
So, firstly, like the government is currently doing, I think an aggressive fiscal, counter-cyclical fiscal policy is the need, sir. And we can also really improve the funds, like divert the funds from other schemes to NG and REGS, which have huge multiplier effect than say other larger term projects like construction of roads and other schemes, which may take lot more time for us to yield fruit. Instead, for now, for an immediate run for 1 or 2 years, we can divert the funds and invest more in MG Narega scheme. And yes, the aggressive fiscal policy is the way out, is what I think, an immediate run at least.
As you told Narega, whether the government is allocating the budget from last 5 to 6 years to Narega scheme,
Yes, sir, it is.
the trend towards the budget allocation towards Narega is reducing. In the broad parliament, the Narendra Modi is dissatisfied with Narega. The budget allocation from the last 5 to 6 years is deteriorating. So the move towards the Narega scheme is negative from the government of India side. So please once go through it. Huh?
All right, sir.
Yes.
Will do.
What is right-based approaches?
So a right-based approach is where you can claim something as a matter of right. For instance, in the case of MG Narega, you can claim the work as a matter of right and not uh, uh, based on your need. It's a right of the worker to get work, and if the work is not given to him, he has an entitlement towards an allowance for unemployment allowance if he's not given the work. So
How many rights are there?
right,
How
in the
many
sense
right-based legislations are there?
there is right to education, which is right-based, and there is also National Food Security Act, which also deals with rights-based approach towards food and security. And so that is all I'm able to recall right now.
Right to information, right to work.
Yes, right to information.
Yes. Recently, one person got Dada Saheb Phalke Award. Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir.
So, do you think that actor is versatile actor, or it's because of his popularity he achieved that award? Is it not Kamal Hassan who should get it?
I personally, with my limited understanding of movies, I definitely think he's a versatile actor, sir. But I do not have knowledge of the criteria that is followed for granting Dada Saheb Phalke Award. So I'm unable to make a comment at this moment, sir.
It's a current affair.
Sorry, sir?
It's a current affair, last 1 month current affair.
Yes, sir. But
You have to go through it.
yes, sir.
Yes. Vijay, what is happiness according to you?
So happiness, according to me, is to be able to do what one wishes to, and also achieve have the opportunity to achieve what one wants to, while keeping in the interest of larger public goods, sir.
Okay. So you are telling me happiness from the public interest point of view. I am asking happiness from individual point of view, your point of view. For you, what brings happiness?
So for me, happiness comes from achieving the targets that I've set for myself, and also in the process introspecting and realizing what my shortcomings are and working on them, sir. So that is where my personal happiness comes from.
How much is World Happiness Report? What is the rank of India?
I'm not
Which
aware of it.
country stands first?
So I think Bhutan
Yes.
stands first.
Then why Bhutan? Why not other countries, Western countries also? Why Bhutan standing first in World Happiness Report?
So, because so primarily the World Happiness Report is also to do a lot with the public perception. And Bhutan as a country also tracks the happiness as an indicator in policy making, sir. Whereas other countries like India or other majority of the countries across the world do not really give it much credence. And so as such, I believe, and also because of its better environmental condition and also uh, near almost good political stability, sir, I think there is a lot of perception towards happiness in that country.
Okay. On the same note, I will be asking about World Global Hunger Index.
Yes,
In
sir.
the economic survey, the government of India in the economic survey criticized two things. One is global hunger index parameters in calculating the or giving the rank to India. Number two, credit rating agencies. Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir.
Please.
So, firstly, in the case of credit rating agencies, India has consistently been ranked low. Historically, if we see any country that has been in the third largest country in terms of purchasing power parity, or the fifth largest country in terms of exchange rate, no other country has been ranked as low as India has been or China has been. So, the economic survey says that there is this systemic bias towards the developing economies when it comes to credit, giving them credit ratings, which might affect the credit inflows into the country. So, and secondly, there is also the larger issue of conflict of interest, because for the credit rating agencies, a lot of firms pay for their credit ratings. So, which again results in a conflict of interest because the more you pay, the more is the tendency for you to get better ratings. So, I think that there is a definite need for some sort of reform with credit rating agencies. And so coming to the issue of the global world hunger index, while India has a lot of food, abundant food security, we have the issue of malnutrition and underweighting. Sir. So, and the global hunger index is unable to capture the food security issue properly, is what the economic service says.
No. Very good. See, as you told, as you are discussing about the food security, what is the issue going on with respect to food security and WTO?
It is to do with the subsidies that the government is giving. For instance, in terms of minimum support price, which is to do with the current production levels, which does not qualify under the green box, the green amber box and blue box subsidies of WTO. It does not qualify under the green box subsidies which are allowed. But the de minimis provision, which is given for the developing country economies, so the aggregate minimum support that India is giving in terms of minimum support price, the developing countries argue that it is really distorting in terms of trade and it shouldn't be so.
Yes. See, one question on international relations. Why? Because if you are posted in any of the Ministry of External Affairs, you need to have an awareness on this. See, already the relationship between India and China is on red line. Apart from the border issues, is it not the banning Chinese app is aggravating Chinese? What is your opinion on this?
Aggravating, what is the full question?
Aggravating China against India by banning those Chinese apps.
So firstly, I think such a ban of apps must be backed with proper research. So long as there are security concerns, internal security concerns in terms of data piracy or cyber attacks, I think it is well within the right of the government to take such an action. But such responses should not come as knee-jerk responses to something else happening on other political or strategic domains. Instead, it should be adopted as a broader policy in terms of constant checks on the validity of the apps and the security of the apps, and then such a policy, continuous policy should be adopted. Sir. So I don't think it's a move of aggravating China as such, but it is more to do with preserving the internal security of the country and ensuring there are no cyber thefts. Sir.
Why China should not see it as a revenge?
Like what I said before, so long as there are security concerns or security breaches by these particular apps that were banned, I think the truth of the matter is that they should be restricted or they should be banned, sir. So as long as there are security concerns with us, I think it is not okay to see this as a matter of revenge, but it should be more of seen more in the light of internal security issues, sir.
Are you aware? Are you aware that there are evidences of security breach?
No, sir, I'm not aware of that.
Okay. See, evidences are absent.
Sorry, sir.
Evidences are absent. It is
Yes, sir.
evidences are absent. It's just based on notional ideas. They banned
Yes, sir.
Chinese apps.
Yes, sir. Which is why I said so long as there are evidences, I think it must be done.
What is the stand taken by India right now? What is happening in Myanmar?
So in the very beginning, India was very nonchalant in terms of not acknowledging what's happening in Myanmar and even to the extent of participating in military parades. But later, as the issue is escalating and our bordering countries are facing the issue and the civilian killings are going up, recently the Ministry of External Affairs has become more vocal about it, sir. It has unequivocally said that restoration of democracy in Myanmar is the ultimate desire of India.
There is a polar silk route.
Sorry, sir.
Polar Silk Road.
Polar Silk
Polar
Road.
Silk Road.
Okay, sir.
Are you aware of it?
No, sir, I'm not aware of it.
So, see, the China is planning as the Arctic Ocean is melting down. They are planning to the north, reaching the North American continent by diverting their cargo ships. So that route is called as Polar Silk Route, Polar Silk Road.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. What is your opinion on our ISRO? Whether the Mars or any other projects which are taken by government of India, is it worth or we should first focus on social development as your option is sociology?
Yeah, I believe they definitely worth the country, worth the investment, sir. Firstly, is to do in terms of the scientific advancements. They have led to a lot of research, particularly in the areas of physics, chemistry, and they have also led to capabilities in terms of military development, like nuclear science, etc. Sir. So they're definitely worth it. And while as a developing country and also an aspiring power, sir, it is equally important for us to ensure our scientific advancement as well as social development. So I personally don't see it as prioritizing one over the other, but rather more of an act of balancing that as well as this. Because our successes of ISRO has yielded us a lot of soft power in the world space in terms of international stature. So I think it is very important and rewarding for our country. Sir.
Are you aware of any state specific solar policy?
No, sir, I'm not aware of any state specific policy.
Gujarat is the first state in India to have a solar policy.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
There is iron ore policy, new iron ore policy 2021.
New
iron ore policy 2021. Are you aware?
No, sir, I'm not.
It's very important. If you guess also, you will be guessing with respect to iron. It is not about iron. It is about transportation of iron through Indian railways. It is a policy of Indian railways.
All right.
It is not at all related to mining. Yes. So in your place, once upon a time, there was a masquerade happened. Sunduru masquerade. What is that?
Sir, this massacre was a conflict between one of the dominant castes and the Dalit caste, where there was a small altercation between a Dalit youth and a dominant caste woman, which has led to a wide-scale massacre of Dalit families in this village. Sir.
Yes. So if you, that is one question. So which happened in the Andhra Pradesh. The same sort of atrocities are happening across India. So what is a better step rather than implementing constitutional provisions? More steps what we can take other than SC/ST atrocity prevention of atrocities act?
While also ensuring these constitutional guarantees are there, in most cases, even in the case of the Sunduru massacre, sir, what has happened is police siding with the dominant caste and not agreeing to help the underprivileged, sir. So as such, I think there is an important need for us to train and reform the police force, particularly at the constabulary level, and also ensure there are hotlines or helplines, particularly in these areas, sir, because it is also the case that, particularly in the rural areas, the people of this scheduled castes live in a particular locality and are not widespread. I think wide publicity in terms of hotline numbers and toll-free numbers should be publicized, where whom they can reach to in case of such caste-based atrocities or humiliations.
And your state is asking for special status. What is the special status? Why
So
you want
that,
special status?
sorry, what is the second question, sir?
Why you want special status?
So the special category status is basically a economic formula that was devolved from the Gadgil formula of 1969, where the center gives special consideration and assistance to the states which are underprivileged or which have low population density, high tribal population, or very poor infrastructure, or hilly terrain, etc. The special category status in the context of Andhra Pradesh was a promise that had happened during the state bifurcation movement. So as such, it is being demanded as a guarantee that is yet to be met. But I personally think, since the 15th Finance Commission also has said, moved to a situation where there are going to be revenue deficit grants and other grants to the state rather than a wholesale special category status as such, I personally think a grant or a special package would do more benefit to the country than a special category status as such.
In your state, Vizag Steel was being privatized. What is your opinion on that? It should be or it should not be?
I personally think it should not be because, firstly, is to do with the issue that it has gone into losses only very recently in the last few years, and it has not been a white elephant for really long. And ever since the issue of privatization has come in, the workforce has started being more productive, which is seeing record high productions in the Vizag steel plant in the last few months. So as such, I feel there is still a potential for the company to turn profitable. So I do not think it is good for us to privatize such a company which has potential to be profitable.
So the step of the government is wrong.
So I feel there should be more wait and watch policy because currently the productions are really going up and the sales and turnover are also going up. So long as there is a chance to turn it more viable, I think there should be a more cautious approach rather than an aggressive selling off.
So your father works in GST.
Yes,
Are you aware that 2020-2021 financial year, the GST revenue which the government of India is coming, it slowed down like anything. Nearly 60% of the GST revenue we didn't reach because of no performance of economy. The business was not performing properly. So whether is it right to increase GST in order to balance the revenue loss for 2021, and in order to balance, we have to increase in 2021, 2022. Do you support it?
No, sir, I do not support such a move.
Then without the revenue, how government can function?
Sir, the revenues from GST have actually started going up over the last 3-4 months. In fact, crossing the mark of 1 lakh crore consecutively for the last 6 months. And even it has, I think in January, it has touched a record high of 1 lakh 20 crore collections. So as such, since there are green shoots in the economy and the economy is recovering, I think the revenues are going to shore up and there is no need for us to increase the tax rates.
Basic economic questions I want to ask you. What is the difference between current account deficit and capital account deficit?
Sir, the current account deficit is to do with it majorly is a balance between what we're importing and what we're exporting, sir. Whereas the capital account deficit is to do with how much we as a country own the external assets and how much the external players own the assets of the country, sir. So that is the capital account deficit, whereas current account deficit is more to do with the trade imbalances, sir.
Till recently, USA was alleging only United States of America. United States of America used to allege only China. But last month, USA also alleged India that India is also participating in currency manipulation. What is this currency manipulation?
The currency manipulation is when you deliberately devalue a currency so that your the demand for your exports in the international market go up, sir. So this is a way that a lot of countries try to better their trade imbalances or current account deficits, sir. So that is called currency manipulation.
What is difference between devaluation and depreciation?
The devaluation was in the earlier fixed rate regime, where the devaluation was more to do with the central banks. So they have deliberately intervened in the markets and have either devalued the currency or increased their value. Ever since we moved to a flexible rate regime, it has become depreciation, sir, where the appreciation or the increase in the value or the fall in the value of money is left to the market forces, and the central banks intervene only as a last precautionary measure, sir. They do not actively play in the market.
Okay. Central Bank. RBI recently last year they had a scheme called as gold monetization scheme. Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What is that?
So this gold monetization scheme is to do is to ensure that some trade in the gold, sir, in the country, monetize the gold. So there are multiple aims to this scheme. So one is to definitely reduce the gold imports. There is a lot of idle gold in the country. They thought if we bring it into the market space, our import bill on gold will be reduced. Second, sir, is also in terms of betterment of quality of gold. Once the gold is brought into the trade, the quality assurance of trade will also of gold will also go up, sir. So this is one reason. These are the two reasons why RBI has started this gold monetization scheme.
Last 2 years, the gold rates were been skyrocketing. Again, right now it is decreasing. What are the reasons behind it?
I do not have the knowledge about that, sir. I'll read up after this.
Yes. Gold rates are drastically reducing this month. You have to know about it.
Yes, sir.
Who is your favorite social reformer? Vivekananda. Why? Because your junior college name is Viveka.
I do not have a favorite one as such, a particular one, but Vivekananda has always been someone I looked up to, sir.
So who is you doesn't have any social reform? Are you a social reformer?
Yeah, I do not consider myself a social reformer as such, sir. But I try I'm definitely a personal reformer when it comes to myself. I am constantly on the vigil to try and reform myself and also try and reform my nearest people like my family. And so if it's a question of scale, I do not think myself as a social reformer yet.
Okay. Can you name some of the Italian foods?
Yes, there is pasta, there's pizza, and so that is all I'm able to recall. There are a lot of dishes that we make with these two bases, but there is risotto, that is also an Italian food. So,
Is it true that where the coronavirus took birth, Wuhan market, it is a place of multiple animals were being sold and the Chinese people will be eating multiple animals. Is it true or it's just a negative attitude towards China? Whether they will eat multiple animals?
definitely the place where it had originated was a wet market where a lot of animals were sold. But I think that there are also a lot of concerns and a lot of racial discrimination towards them as people who strand on bats and people who would eat up multiple animals. But I think that we must be sensible enough to understand the rootings to that. There was a phase where this particular region was facing a lot of food scarcity. So there was a lot of famine and food scarcity. So as a matter of survival, they had switched to a solution where their meals are more based on non-vegetarian or omnivorous food rather than vegetarian food. So I think while it is true, the racial discrimination is not warranted.
So finally, You cook or you eat? If you cook, what food you will cook?
So I cook and I definitely eat what I cook too. And when I cook, it's always the Indian cuisine, sir. Both North Indian and South Indian food, but it's Indian cuisine.
Do you know if any South Indian go to North India, they will be calling us idli sambar. Is it true? Why? Because you studied at Delhi.
Yes, sir, that is partly true. I personally have never faced such an issue, sir, but not in my college and the other tier one colleges that I personally know of. But the accusation is not completely unfounded, sir. In a lot of colleges that where particularly people from one region dominate over the people from other regions, there are such racial slurs like Madrasi and Idli Sambar batch and all of that. They're definitely there, sir.
So you cook idli sambar also?
Yes, I do.
Very good. Very good, Vijay. See, it's a great improvement, Vijay. Content wise, mainly content wise. Obviously, expression is awesome from the beginning. It's only about the content. Gold
Yes, sir.
rates, gold rates, petrol prices, inflation.
Yes, I actually realized as you started asking, I realized that there are so many current topics that I've really missed out on. For instance, MSME definition and whether Atmanirbhar Bharat package can be successful, and the NIMZs and SEZs. I have studied that for mains, but I have not revised that for now, sir. And the economic corridor. So I realized as you started asking, I realized there are a lot of current issues that I need to cover. I was dealing with more current issues such as inflation targeting, privatization, and these issues. I covered these within the whatever limited time I happen to get. I think I'll look into this by the time of the next mock.
The rest. And your interview date is 26th,
10th May, sir.
10th May. All the best. Bye, Vijay.
Do you have anything else to
No,
add, sir?
no. Evening 9 o'clock we will meet.
Yes, sir. We'll
You.
meet at 9. Thank you, sir. Good day.